just a conversation with a fellow clown. It's not very serious, we're clowning around. It's really just a clown-versation. Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to another Clown-versation. I'm just like so overwhelmed because we're doing so many Clown-versations at the moment that it's just amazing. I'm in clown heaven. I get to do them once a week as normal, and then I'm doing these extra ones twice a week for the incredible CoHo Clown Festival, which is happening in Portland right now. It's 3 weeks long and there's lots of incredible clown work happening. And today we're going to be talking to two of the masterminds behind the CoHo Clown Festival. We're going to be talking to Emily High Kicks Newton, and we're going to be talking to Morgan Clark-Gaynor, everybody. So please welcome these wonderful people to the stage. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Morgan.
Hi.
Hi, Manvi. Hi, Morgan.
Hi, Emily.
Yay. I'm just noticing these cool things behind you there, Emily. Like cool.
Yeah, some of my clown stuff back in Hobart, some other things, my Balinese mask that I got when I was over there during my time at Dell'Arte International, and some
That's
other
awesome.
interesting
Nice.
keepsakes. Yeah.
Well, you guys, welcome to Clown-versations, and welcome to everybody at home watching. Please, if you're watching live, do type into the comments just, you know, hello, whatever, maybe your name, because maybe it doesn't come up on the comments, and where you're tuning in from, and just let us know you're there, out there, right? And please join in the conversation. This is supposed to be an interactive conversation. We welcome all kinds of questions and comments and thoughts and reflections. So please go ahead and start typing away in the comments. Morgan and Emily, you guys, not by yourselves. Let's make sure that we acknowledge everybody, but you are part of the team who has initiated and put together this really cool CoHo Clown Festival. So first of all, just want to say congratulations, because I know you probably didn't realize what you were getting into when you decided to do this.
No, we did not know.
You're like, yay, let's do a clown festival. It'll be fun.
Yep. We were like, we know so many clowns. It's going to be so easy. We all want to do it. It's going to be fine. Yeah. But it's like a lot of clown logistics. There's a lot of moving clown parts.
Yeah. We've got a hello from CA Clowns, from California Clowns. Who is that? Heavy Flow. Who are you? And Catfish. Hey, Catfish.
Ooh.
Catfish loves that beginning. Thanks, Catfish. You're awesome. So, well, let's go back to the beginning of the festival. Like, what is the origin of it? Where was it sort of conceived, and what was the process by which it came into this wonderful birthing that is now happening?
Yeah.
Trying to, if I can continue this sort of like birthing metaphors, but yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess either of you, I'm not gonna, you know, just, you can juggle that one between you.
I'm gonna handle this to Morgan, because they know kind of more of the intricate inner workings of where the festival came from, and
Yeah.
has been doing, you know, a lot more than I have been doing. So yeah.
I'll talk about like where the seed was, and then pass it off to Emily, because Emily was a big part of making it happen. So our programming director, Phil Johnson, worked with our late great artistic director, Philip Cuomo. Philip Cuomo was my clown teacher, and a lot of our clown teacher. He's like he's like the king clown. A big deal for a lot of us. And Philip and Phil talked about making the Coho Clown Circus for a little while. It was a dream of Philip's for a long time, and for whatever reason, it never felt like the right time, never felt like it was something that our audience was gonna like it wasn't quite what Portland was ready for. Like, for whatever reason, it just kept not happening. And then Philip got really sick and passed away
very sadly, quite recently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in the wake of that, it was really important that we keep Philip's clown work going. And so we, Coho, Phil and Laurel and I reached out to Emily Newton and I always mispronounce her name. I say Sasha, but it's Sasha. Sasha Blocker, to make sure that the Coho Clown Cohort could continue. And so then we've been working with the cohort led by Emily and Sasha to launch a lot of really important initiatives in order to sustain Philip's clown legacy, one of which is this festival. So I want to just pass it to Emily to embellish on that story.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I've been, working with the Coho Clown Cohort since about 2017, and I had known Philip Cuomo for longer than that. He had brought me in as a solo artist for Summerfest back in, I think it was 2016, with some of my solo work, and had gotten to know him. And he was like a very, he was very interested in having a place for artists, comedic artists, fringe artists to come and put their work up and have an audience and have a place for their work. And so he was really, invited me in and really helped me launch some of my solo work. And then he started this, the Coho Clown Cohort in, I think it was 2017, with 3 initial projects. And so I got to work with him intensely on those projects, and then kept coming back every year and doing more work with him, and had this pretty robust group of shows that we did together, and Sasha and I and a lot of the community were involved in those shows. And so it was really important for us to continue that work and continue working together and continue Philip's legacy and the clown work that he was doing. So some of the things that we've been trying to do in this particular festival is to offer, again, like Philip, spaces for artists, comedic artists, solo artists, fringe artists to come and have a place for their work. We're also, Sasha and I have been teaching workshops as well, which has been really great to have more people come in and experience and explore what clown is. And we're also aiming to launch a new Coho Clown Cohort show through this the 3 C's, through a live devised night, which Sasha's head sort of like leading. She was like, I have this idea, why don't we do in front of the audience devising in clown as a way of launching a new show. And so we'll
That's
be
amazing. So
yeah, it's terrifying, Barnaby.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
yeah. So there'll be 7 of us doing that next Sunday. So
right, I was gonna say this weekend, right?
This weekend, yep.
Maybe this is a good moment then to kind of like talk about the shows that are coming up. And that is one of them, right? That is Sunday night.
That's Sunday night. There'll be a social hour beforehand too. So folks who are interested in the work that has been done previously, or interested in finding out, meeting the artists in live devise, or meeting the people who have made the festival possible, they can come for an hour and hang out, and then trundle into the theater and watch this crazy show that we're proposing.
So is this going to be live devised? Is the audience going to be sort of involved, and you're going to be improving new scenes and this kind of thing?
Correct. Yes. So there'll be an element of welcome into this this process with us. This is the story we've chosen for inspiration, and then parts of our group will go away and devise, and then some of us will be here, be back with the audience interacting, and then the other group will come back and show what they devised, and we'll talk about it. And so they're going to be very much involved in the process. So,
got it. So you don't have to improvise live in front of the audience from scratch. You get to kind of work a little bit and then come back and show what you've been working
a little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Yeah. That sounds really cool and interesting.
Yeah.
And scary and ambitious.
Yes, very. I'm pretty much I'm pretty sure that about an hour before we go on stage we'll be like, why did we decide to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you and Sasha, and who else?
There's going to be me, Sasha, Jeff Desotels, Amika Hunter, Kristen Shear, Summer Olsen, and Beth Summers. I think there's 7 of us.
Well, I have to say, I met some of you quite recently at Giovanni Fussetti's workshop.
Yeah.
And you're all exceptionally good, talented clowns. So I think it's going to be amazing.
Thanks, Barnaby. Yeah.
What else is happening this weekend? I'm going to pull it up, and then maybe one of you can just talk us through it.
Yeah. So we got jouissance. I'm afraid that's a French word that I'm just butchering, but that's going to be a movement piece coming out of Whitebird, the dance company. Yeah. We really don't know much about that one, to be honest. We just love those dancers, and we were like, put something together. We trust you. We'll put it on stage. So I'm excited to see what that is, just like everybody else.
Yeah, that seems really interesting, because you don't expect that from a clown festival. There's a dance aesthetic.
Yeah. Well, we met these dancers earlier this year. We went to one of their performances, and the dance was just like a gorgeous and wordless clown dance. Jordan did a piece about being on hold, like on the phone for getting some service that you need. So it was just Jordan and this telephone, and it was so dramatic and so funny, and there were so many like effective takes to the audience and emotional build with the audience. And so we walked away and we're like, that was a clown show, but it was also a surrealist dance piece. Nice. What if this is like also clown? What if we can expand what this experimental clown edge can be for Coho? So I love really that. To bring her in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so awesome and so good and healthy, I think, for the clowns and for artists. And it's such a good decision for the festival, I think, to broaden the scope of it and to recognize clown as a kind of quality in other pieces of performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Okay, so that's jouissance, and that's this Friday and Saturday.
Looks like Friday, Saturday at 7 p.m.
Yeah. And then tell us about the Nancy Boys.
Yeah, the Nancy Boys is an improv duo that comes out of Portland. Nick Condon and his husband Justin Condon have been working on this show for ages, and it's gone traveling around the country. It's a really well developed mystery improv show, and Nick is also trained in clown. And so they use elements of clown in order to improve their improv. And I've just had lots of really fruitful conversations with Nick about how clowning and improv should be in conversation with each other in order to improve each other as techniques. Yeah. So that's another one of those forms that may not be considered like traditional clown, but absolutely like uses the technique in order to embolden what's going right for it. So I'm excited to see what they do too.
This is very cool. Also, yes, I totally agree. Improv and clown kind of come from the same stable in a way. A lot of overlap, and it's great. Clowns get better when they become good improvisers. And,
yes.
And improvisers get better when they become better clowns.
Yeah.
Yes.
The words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Very cool. So that is going to be also the same nights, right? The same night.
Yep.
So you can go and see both shows. An amazing double bill.
Yeah, seriously.
On Friday or Saturday. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to come on Friday. That seems like
sounds good.
Okay, so so let's go back. So the shows themselves, we've kind of seen 3 of them, but what about the kind of overall curating of the festival? What is it that you're trying to achieve with the balance of different things you've curated? Particularly, I'm thinking about showcasing Portland versus out of town and that kind of thing. Like, where are you trying to go with this, the feel of this festival?
Yeah. I mean, Emily, do you want to speak to that at all?
Yeah, I think initially we're looking around our community at all of these incredible performers that we have here in Portland, and people who are doing really interesting clown work, really interesting comedic work, surrealist work. And I think this year was really like, well, how do we showcase what is already happening here? How do we put everyone together for 4 weeks so that we can see the amazing talent that we've got going on here? Are you all still there? Because you have dropped out of my screen.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, you're still there?
Yeah. I was just focusing on you, Emily, because
I all I could see was myself, and I was like, oh my God.
No, my internet.
Myself. Yeah, so I think the focus this particular year was to really focus in on who is in our community, who's doing all this amazing work. How do we showcase it? And we already had Teatro, I could never remember the name. Teatro Pachuco already coming. So how do we showcase all this local talent and build the festival to this like main event that's happening the last week of the festival? Because they're bringing 3 different shows. So yeah, how do we get everyone super excited about what's happening in Portland, and then finish with this big bang of this international theater company? Yeah.
That's really great. So there's a kind of there's a total logic to that. And looking forward then over the next, do you have kind of like you're probably so involved with running this festival that you can't think a week ahead, let alone a year ahead or 5 years ahead. But I'm wondering, it's like a vision of, what you'd like this to develop into.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, we would love CoHo to develop as a clown hub for Portland artists primarily. Like, CoHo is here first and foremost for Portland, for local artists. That's always been our mission.
Right.
And we know, just because, we are clowns and we are artists in this town, that there are a lot of clowns in Portland, and a lot of the clowns are also just like experimental artists and fringe artists. And there's a lot of this this experimental circus art happening in Portland, but it's very scattered. It's not very connected. Like, even the other day we were opening up for a show for the festival, and someone came by on their way to a different circus performance down the street that we didn't know about, which is so goofy. Yeah, like we should all know about each other so that we can promote each other and make big spectacle together.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it, is we want this to be something that people count on every year, and are able to build work towards, so that we can have a place where we all come together.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first goal. And of course, like we want Coho to be able to have friends and artists across the world, and that maybe fringe artists that are on a circuit and just like stop by but aren't Portland artists. But our first love is to Portland and the artists that live here and work here, and we want to make sure that we have a clown home for them.
That's great. I think that's such a lovely important goal. By the way, does Hood River count as Portland artist?
Yes. I only did that for you, Barnaby.
Oh, thank you. Yes, because we're basically a suburb of Portland. You know, we're only an hour outside.
Yeah.
So I'm next year I'll come and do something if that's okay.
Good.
Please. Yes. Yeah.
So, but then obviously the nice thing about having out of town artists is that, it's like a little bit more special and glamorous, and you can kind of sell it a little bit more easily. So I guess it's nice to have those headliners and, those people that you can bring in and sort of, because wherever you are in the world, it's much easier to sell something that's from out of town.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you can't get it every day, right?
Yeah.
It's special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So is that an ongoing kind of intention as well, to kind of have maybe national, international names coming in?
Yeah.
I'd
say so.
If we have the money for it.
Yeah.
Because we want to pay artists, so yeah.
I ran a clown festival in Colombia for a few years, and one of the things I got very good at was getting people to come for very little money.
Nice.
We should talk, Barnaby.
It's a little bit more difficult. Well, in Colombia is one thing, because in a way people are excited to go to Colombia because there's a sort of there's a little bit of exoticism, and there's a little bit of also like, it's a part of the world that's struggling, and so it feels like a really positive thing to go and contribute to the culture there. And it's harder to make that argument about Portland, although increasingly not so much, not so hard. So I just wonder whether, actually when you ask people to come, people who you wouldn't necessarily think would come for little or no money, they actually do. If you ask, all you can do is ask, right? So I think it's worth setting your sights high and saying, why not? Let's have, somebody maybe if we can just find the flight, the cost of the flight, we could get artists from UK or Germany or France or South America or anywhere.
I also love the idea of that. There are more clown festivals popping up. There's a lot happening in Canada, and it would be very cool if there was, our very own like clown festival circuit, right? Like you do the circuit, all the clowns come through in small cars on the circuit.
That would be very awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you're giving me ideas now.
Great.
So I would really like to know a little bit more about each of you and your own kind of clown journey, because you each also have work in the festival, right? Or you've presented something in the festival. So Emily, this picture of you as the big baby is quite disturbing.
Let's see it.
You didn't see it. You didn't see it live. Morgan saw it live twice.
It was amazing. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
How did it go? Tell us what it is. What are you attempting to do there?
I had this image of being a baby, and what that would be like to be wheeled on stage in a giant basket, and have the audience deal with having a baby in the space and what that requires of the audience. And so the audience was given bags of different like baby props and other props, and it was this wild experiment to see how the audience interacted with me, and it was it was wild. It was, it was like 20 minutes of just like 25 minutes of people interacting with the baby crying, the baby laughing, the baby getting out of the basket, and the baby rolling over. And for me, it was really about how do I embody a baby? How do I stay present? How do I connect? How do I have a relationship with the audience when I can't talk? Which is like my favorite thing. Like my favorite thing is nonverbal characters. And yet I always play these verbal characters. And so for me, it was like the kind of like penultimate challenge to be, limited in movement, no verbal interaction, no language, and to play a baby. So
very awesome. I love the concept. What you mentioned Dell'Arte, but what's your kind of background in terms of clowning?
My background, I did my MFA at Dell'Arte International in North California. Before that, I was kind of like messing around with clown before I even knew what clown was. So a lot of what I would say like comedic characters or eccentric characters, nonverbal characters, interactive characters. I was doing lots of cabaret, which was born out of doing burlesque, doing terrible burlesque, and never being able to take it seriously. And so that kind of like, I started digging into the kind of comedy realm. And then I came out and did my master's, and I decided to stay in America, and I had these just ideas for characters and kept creating more work and touring work, and fell in with a group of people who were wanting to make clown work and cabaret, and so I just kept doing that. And so it's just built on itself. And of course the work with Philip really opened up more of my world to like theatrical clown and what that is to work in ensemble. Which is just beautiful.
So you're playing, you're a fixture in Portland now. You're hanging around.
I am hanging around like a bad smell. Yep. It's been nearly 8 years, which is
nice.
Wild.
Wow.
I know, right?
Well, it's awesome. I think the Portland clown scene is all the better.
Yes.
For having you around. So thank you for your work.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan, tell us about because you also presented something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A few days ago, and clown as protest. Build a bougie. Yeah. You saying that right? Or bougie.
Build a bougie.
Bougie. Build a bougie, as in a bourgeois person. Bougie.
Yes, indeed. Yep. Yeah.
So this is kind of a project that was kind of a residency, wasn't it? But hosted by CoHo.
Yep. Yeah, I did the CoHo residency last round that finished in May. And I have been tinkering around with clown as a tactic of direct action and protest for a little while. So I decided to concentrate on that for the residency, and me and my clown troupe ended up coming up with this show. And the initial question that we had was just like, how can we use clown and our skill set as clowns to further our political line, and in order to communicate something towards social change that clowning is specifically positioned to help communicate well.
What do you mean by that? Why is clown positioned well to communicate?
I mean, what I always say is that clown is one of the most profound social technologies that I think that we even have access to, and it's I think that it has a lot of potential for audience transformation and a reconsideration of what communication is, because it is largely nonverbal, and it's so connected emotionally and physically, and it's so dramatic. It's just like you, but cranked up to a 10. So whatever's going on inside, it's just so transparent. It's so authentic, and in that, it's extremely relatable. The reason that I'm laughing at a clown is because I'm seeing myself in that clown performed in a way that I can't perform, because I have all of these social limitations on me. Yeah, so with this show, we dug inside ourselves and our communities to find what we thought were classic personalities of people that opt for wealth over like belonging, and mass unity. And then we just turned those into clowns, so that they were relatable, so that they were like someone that you could see, so that the audiences would see these characters on stage and see that they're ridiculous, see that it's a farce that people do that at all, and also are able to just like feel with us that this is something that we all do. Like this is how we're set up to behave. It's authentic coming out of me, and it's authentic that you're connecting with it. So how is this just like a social mechanism that we're all living with? This tendency to opt for individualism and wealth over belonging and community solidarity. So, and I think that clown is so perfect for that mission. I can't imagine using another artistic or communication tactic to do what we do.
Yeah. You're getting some positive feedback here on the comments. So good. Very good. So good. You're inspiring us. It's great. If anyone who is watching has any questions for Morgan or Emily, do go ahead and put them into the comments, because we're going to be only here for another few minutes. So if you've got any questions, or if you've maybe seen any of the shows at the festival, it'll be awesome to have little recommendations and reviews. You can stick them in the comments as well. So yeah, and Morgan, I think that I read that you're part of the of Pete, or maybe you trained with them, Portland Experimental Theater Ensemble.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, got it in one, Barnaby.
So, and I also read that you were into performance theory and performance studies, which is my PhD. I did PhD in performance studies at Northwestern University a few years ago.
Okay.
So I come from that same thought, like way of thinking about clown, and my whole PhD was about clowning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we should have a conversation about that. Aside from
I want to know more about what you wrote and what you studied and what you came to.
Yeah, well, you can buy my book, of course.
Oh my gosh! Okay. I will buy your book.
Usually on Amazon for about $500.
Worthwhile. I'm in. I have that money laying around. Just throw it at you.
No, I don't think it's quite that much. But yeah, it has to do with clowning and as social performance and social practice in Colombia and South America.
Wow, very cool.
But I thought it was really interesting to see that you come from that, so you've got that kind of experimental theater, kind of more critical thinking approach as well, and you're kind of, I see that in how you're using clowning, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's really exciting. It's I often feel like I'm in a very small niche in what I'm interested in doing in the world, and what this work that I think I'm positioned to do is, and so it's always just so exciting to see that other people are like excited about clown as something that's socially and politically meaningful.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the work that you do is also just, at the end of the day, we have all these kind of like intellectual, theoretical contexts, and we love talking about those. But the important thing is what we do, right? What we put out, the work we put out, the practice, and the connections that we make with other people. So, so again, I just want to thank you guys for being out there and doing this, because putting together a show is one thing, putting together a festival is a whole other thing. It's like so much work and so much dedication and commitment. And thank you, Radio Wave Zero. I appreciate that. And so, yeah, I just want to end on that note, really, and to say, I guess, is there anything that you'd like to finish on in terms of what you'd like to say to people, why they should come to see the Clown Festival, how you'd like them to get involved?
Yeah. I'll say one thing and then Emily will say the next thing.
Great.
Okay. First of all, everybody in the whole world, if you think that clowning is interesting, you should do it. Because you can, and you probably already are. And it is, like I said, an extremely effective strategy for engaging in this world and for figuring out how to live in your body and figuring out how to communicate with other humans. And so it has like that deep, important work part, but it's also so fun. And having spaces where adults can just like genuinely and imaginatively play with other adults, so rare and so important. So just come to our workshops. We have this festival. We also, Emily facilitates a monthly meetup. It's all free, but just come in town and be in community with us. We really believe in it. And that's mine. That's what I want to say. So I'll pass it on.
That's great. I can't follow that. I would just say, if you're interested in coming and being in clown community, we have monthly meetups. It's all on the website. They're free. Sasha and I organize those. We have people from the community coming in and facilitating them. So we have different facilitators. It's really great. It's exactly what Morgan just said. You know, it's 2 hours of coming and being with one another and playing. And in terms of the festival, there's so much exciting stuff going on. Please come. It's pay what you will. So it's, you know, we're trying to remove the financial barriers as well. So if you're curious, if you're curious, just come and see something and see if you like it. You probably will. And then you know, come back and see more stuff. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Very cool. All right. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Morgan.
Thanks, Barnaby.
I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.
Great. Yeah. Bye.
Wasn't that amazing, folks? Thank you so much, you guys. Thanks, Emily and Morgan, for just inspiring us with your energy and passion and your commitment. Thanks, guys, for participating and engaging. You know, clown, we're out there. We are changing the world. We're doing things, and this is a real thing. So if you want to support what I'm doing, please go and have a look at my website. It's www.clown-spirit.com. I've got a bunch of courses, some are free, some are paying. You know, just feed yourself with clown. I've got a shop where you can buy awesome t-shirts. I'm putting out Clown-versations every week on my YouTube channel. Again, you can find that on YouTube by just searching for Clown Spirit. So thank you so much, guys. Have an awesome evening. And I'll be back on Wednesday with another Clown-versation with some more of the artists from the CoHo Clown Festival. And then on Friday, I have a regular old Clown-versation with the amazing Riccardo Puccetti from Lume Teatro in Brazil. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Bye. Bye.